Hey guys, can I thank you in advance for taking the time to watch this video. It has been a very long time coming, but that day has finally arrived. For those of you that know me personally, probably have been aware that I've struggled with my mental health for quite some time. Probably since around 2012, it's been giving me the most issues, and in the last sort of 2 to 3 years I've been working on myself a lot through therapy, through group therapy and individual therapy for various things. But for any of my past colleagues and people that I'm close to and people that I know that are currently teachers may not be surprised in what I'm going to tell you. However, this has come as a huge surprise to me. It's been huge for me and for my small family. It all started around 2 years ago when I was having my individual therapy sessions. And one day during therapy, my therapist said to me, "You do know you have some different traits other than what the issues are that we've been discussing, namely PTSD in those sessions." And I don't really understand what you mean by that. And she said, "I show traits of obsessive compulsive personality disorder, but also traits of possible ADHD." And I thought, "Oh, maybe the personality disorder, yes, but I worked with people for a very long time with varying degrees of ADHD, and the young people that I've worked with were wonderful young people, but I weren't showing any signs of anything that they were presented with at that time." So I thought, okay, well, perhaps there's something to look into, but I wasn't 100% sure on any of it. But I was convinced more likely than not that it would have been a personality disorder that I'd be struggling with. However, a few days after my therapy session, I was watching YouTube, which I tend to watch a lot, and one of my favourite vloggers, as also my family's favourite vloggers for both Disney and home content, is Ree from mummyoffour.com. And Ree had put a video out saying that she had been recording a video with one of her friends a few years ago that had just been diagnosed with ADHD, and how she was sitting there thinking, "Gosh, I do that, and yeah, I present like that, and I do those things, and I thought I was the only one that did those things." And as she's reeling off these things, I am becoming more and more, "Oh my goodness, that's me too. I do that. I do that. That's definitely me." And as the video went on, I was just becoming more and more flabbergasted, because I thought, this just can't be, this can't be right. This can't be who I am. So I kind of put it to the back of my head for a while, and then I thought to myself a few days later, and after speaking to my husband, and I said, "Do you think that this is something that I possibly need to look into?" And he said to me, "I don't think so." He'd never thought that there was anything untowards in that. So I let it go. A few evenings after that, though, I proceeded to trawl the internet, as you do. Once I get something in my head, excuse me, a little slurp of my iced coffee. Once I get something into my head, it's as if I need to know everything about it before I can get my head around it. And I watched more vlogs on YouTube. I'd done research online, but I still was adamant that it was this OCPD instead of anything else. So I spoke to my husband again after gathering all this information. We discussed speaking to the GP. Now, in Wales, there is a huge, huge waiting list to be seen. Ree explained that in her video. unlike England, we don't have the right to choose option here in Wales. So I went on to ask my GP the next morning. They sent me off over the questionnaire for mind blank, ADHD, and I filled it in. And the response that I had from my GP was that I had many symptoms that were associated with ADHD at a high level. But she did explain to me that it could take 12 to 18 months for the initial assessment to come through, to just be referred to the community mental health team. So I just thought, well, I've been 45 years without knowing what's another 12 to 18 months. I've been through quite a lot of medical investigation since like 2018 anyway, so it's nothing new to me. So I thought, well, at least it's in the pipeline now. So January 2025 came and I received an appointment letter in the post asking me to attend an initial psychiatric assessment with this consultant psychiatrist. My appointment was for the 20th of February. This now was going to be a really big few days because I also had another very big appointment the day before. But that's another story. I'll go into that at a later date. However, we got to the 19th of February appointment, which was my other medical appointment that was quite an intense appointment, and that went really, really well. So when the 20th came for my first psychiatric appointment, I felt really positive about it. I didn't know what to expect. I'd spoken to various therapists and counsellors since 2012. I've had colleagues that are counsellors. In the past, I've done basic counselling training myself. So I kind of understood the sort of procedure, but I've never seen a psychiatrist before. And that in itself is quite a scary thing to think about. However, my husband attended the appointment with me. Everyone that knows me knows I can talk for Wales. So the session lasted about an hour and a half. They wanted to know the ins and outs of childhood, upbringing, siblings, relationship with parents, all of that kind of stuff. So he basically took a timeline of events through my life as like a background. So, and then he said he'd see me in another 6 weeks. So in March, I then received another letter to attend an appointment on the 3rd of April. At this time, unfortunately, my husband wasn't able to attend with me because we had things going on in the weeks after that, and he needed to take time off for that. So I attended the assessment alone. It was the DSM-5 assessment that I undertook. It was extremely intense. It was absolutely eye-opening. The things and the examples that they give you, and then that you have to explain to them or give examples of each of the topics that they give you. It was just mind-blowing. I was actually going into this appointment 100% thinking that they're going to need to retest me or reassess me for other things, because this was definitely not who I am. However, at the age of 46, I left that hour-long appointment with a diagnosis of ADHD, combined type, with very high scores. I can't believe I've said that out loud on video for the first time. It's equally as terrifying. It is an absolute blessing for me. Again, those of you that know me personally or, with school contacts or whatever, know that I've been troubled, and to know that my symptoms of both depression and social and generalised anxiety disorder, PTSD as well now, over the years have hindered my ability to be a full human. more recently, it is a massive, massive relief. Now I know everything that I've ever done is just my way of doing it. It's not the wrong way. It's just my way, and that's okay. I've spent the whole of my life with very little self-confidence, very low self-esteem. This isn't a poor me video at all. But I now know why I feel this way. I now know why I react in the way I react. Now I know why I try and please everybody instead of pleasing myself the whole time. This is why I search for reassurance through my doing for others, my baking for others over the years, my wanting feedback constantly for my art, for my new crafts, for my new skills that I'm trying to learn, looking for praise in work situations. The hardest thing to know is that I've never really truly been the person that I'm meant to be, because I've always been trying to and aspiring to be something that people like and somebody that people want to spend time with. However, all I ever seem to do is leave conversations with a lot of dread and fear that everything that I've said in those conversations have made the people that I was conversing with dislike me, and who does she think she is, and all that kind of thing. I'm well aware that I interrupt everybody. I'm well aware that I may not look like I'm listening all the time, and please understand that it's not my lack of enthusiasm for wanting to listen to you. I'll listen to you all day. My issue is that I just think that I'm going to forget what I'm going to chirp in, and I want you to know that during those conversations that I'm trying to empathise with you and trying to think of ways that I can partake in the conversation, sharing my examples of those things that may be bothering you, because I just want to relate. I just want to relate to people, and I just want people to like me. It has been 2 months, nearly 3 months actually now, since I was diagnosed, and after diagnosis it was shock. It was, how do I explain this to my child? How do I get my husband to understand me a bit better? How do I get family members to understand me better that have known me as overly sensitive and emotional the whole of my life? And I think, is it up to me to be trying to teach people how to be kind to people? The most important thing for me now is just to say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I haven't had much to be mine with regard to self-worth for many years, and excuse me, I'm trying not to be emotional. As everybody knows, I'm extremely emotional. But I really think that this might be what I'm meant to do. I probably haven't come across as the best I could have in this video. It's the first one that I'm putting out there. I've had my website up and running for a year, and until a few days ago, people hadn't actually, unless you know me personally, hadn't actually seen what I look like. But what I would say is I want to build a community. So if you relate to anything that I've said, if you are a late diagnosed person with experiences you want to share, I don't know how I intend to move this forward. I suppose it depends on the feedback that I get from it, I suppose. But I need to say to you that please leave a comment, please like it. What I need to also say is that I'm not an ADHD specialist in any sense. I just watch a lot of doctors. I watch a lot of vlogs and podcasts on the topic. This is not in any way to get advice on how to deal with it or how to get a diagnosis or my time. The time that it's taken me to get my appointments through isn't a time scale that you should measure for yourself. So if you are thinking about going down the route of being assessed, please don't use my timescales as a measure of how quickly or not you may be seen, especially here in South Wales, because it may be really different in your area. I just want to say to anybody out there, to my fellow ADHDers, I see you and I feel you and I understand you, and you're not alone. I want to build a tribe, if we can, and promote wellness and positivity around neurodiversity. It's not anything to be embarrassed about. It's actually something to be proud of. We've been in the shadows for way, way, way too long, and it's time for us to take control of our wonderful neurodiverse brains and to show the world that without neurodiversity, we would probably be colourless. Everyone would be on time. Nobody needed an alarm set for everything like I do. And it would be really boring. Now, if we were all the same, it would be really boring. However, I want you to think about embracing your difference and making it count every day. That's what I'm trying to hold on to. I'd also like to say, not that she'd probably ever see this video, but to Rhiannon from mummyafo.com, thank you so much. If you hadn't put that video out of your journey, that took a very long time, I know. I would never, ever have sought a diagnosis. I would never have gone and asked my GP that morning and requested an assessment because I didn't think it was me. And I know you felt the same as well, Rhi, so just thank you. I just want to send cwtches to you and your wonderful family, because the work that you do for the neurodiverse community is commendable and is outstanding, and long may it continue. And finally, to my gorgeous hubby and our beautiful daughter, you two are my reason for living. I really commend you two for putting up with me and all of my quirks and my fussiness. We will make this count, and I vow today to you both that I will become the best version of myself that I can be. Not only for the both of you, but for me as well. I never say that about myself. I owe you the world, the pair of you, for sticking by me. I love you both to infinity and beyond. And I want to make lots of more memories with you both. And the journey will begin today. And adventure is out there for us. Thank you ever so much for watching. I can talk for Wales. I know that. That's part and parcel of ADHD, I suppose. But I don't do small. The only thing you'll get with me is War and Peace, I'm afraid, guys. So if you don't like long videos, then I'm probably not the one person for you to be watching. But hopefully I'll be back with more about my journey through my neurodiverse life. I am actually awaiting the go-ahead from my psychiatrist for starting medication. I had my physical assessment last week, so I'm waiting to start medication, so hopefully that'll start making me feel better. But I'll be back with another video and I can let you know how that's going. But just take care of yourselves and be gentle with yourselves, and just remember to embrace your difference and make it count every day. Thanks. Bye, guys.